Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Your Set Pageant podcast series, where we sit down with people making an impact through pageantry. I'm Kat Jane Shepherd, your Miss Grand Australia 2026, and today I'm joined by Brooke Rankin, former Miss Global Australia and Miss Global International 2022 second runner-up. Brooke continues to give back to the pageant community by supporting contestants behind the scenes with choreography and mentoring. Brooke, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me. It's such a pleasure.
Yeah, it was so lovely getting to know you. I mean, you've been a massive inspiration to me over the years, and one of the main reasons why I got into pageantry and stuck around. So thank you so much for that.
Oh, that's so lovely to hear. Thank you. That's beautiful.
All right, we'll just get straight into things. So let's start at the beginning. What first inspired you to enter into the world of pageantry, and how has your journey evolved since stepping onto the stage?
Yeah, that's a really great question. Really, I didn't even think about pageantry as on my journey. I was on my modeling journey at the time. I'd only turned 18, and I was approached by a system, and I thought, well, I mean, I may as well give this a go. It probably would open some doors for me for modeling. And then when I dove into that area, I just realized how much I loved it, how it brought me together with different people, so like-minded women. And I really think that the people that enter these pageants are wanting to make a difference. So I really resonated with that because I wanted to do more than just put a face on a photo shoot or, run a runway. I actually wanted to make an impact in what I did. So this was the perfect thing for me. I started my journey as early as 18. And I pretty much I entered maybe a couple, like one or two pageants when I was 18, 19. And then I think there was a period where I had a break. It was about 2 or 3 years, and then I jumped back into it. I think a big thing was COVID, but as well as I had instances of where, pageant directors and or people in the pageantry world hadn't quite got around to the fact of being, I guess, jumping outside the typical box of what a woman should look like. So back then I was, and I don't consider myself this at all, a non-typical uh, size six model. I've always been more of a fit build. And I think I was a bit criticized for that, and it kind of put me down a little bit. So that's why I took that break because I kind of lost myself a little bit in the expectations of other people. And then when I realized that, why am I following other people's um, opinions and what they think is a queen when really a queen is someone that, puts their best foot forward, is true to themselves and, knows their worth as well as knows their message. So when I came around to realizing that, then my journey completely took a different road. And that's when I entered the Miss Australia pageants. And then won my title. I think I was just a completely different person to who I was when I was 18, trying to fit in other people's molds to who I was when I competed in 2022 slash 2021. Yeah, I just knew who I was. So I think that made a huge difference to the type of queen I was as well.
Yes, thank you so much for sharing that. I think that's something and a topic that lots of us have gone through, especially as young women. And I love that you're opening up about that. I had the exact same thing. I feel quite like we had a similar journey. I started out in modeling as well at about 14. And then you reach that stage where if you're an athletic person like yourself, you're a dancer, you love your fitness. I was
Yeah.
the same. You reach that point where you go, oh, I kind of like growing my glutes and my upper body and I love
Yeah.
working out. And then
Yeah.
you get those little hints of people starting to say, like, hey, maybe not, or don't do
Yeah.
that. And I think you're so right. I was the exact same. I came to pageantry later, actually. So I didn't even start when I was around 18. It was more in my 20s. And I feel like I came with a similar sense as you did, where you just know yourself, you know your body, and you're happy in it and you're comfortable. And luckily, the times are changing. There's still lots we need to do. But I feel like in pageantry, and in particular with Miss Australia pageants, they love you for who you are and what you bring, and it's the whole complete person. And I mean, being athletic and feeling like you can use your body for strength is way more important than seeking something for validation, I suppose. So thank you so much for sharing that.
Absolutely agree with you. Yes.
So you achieved an incredible result at Miss Global International 2022, becoming the second runner-up. Looking back, what experience did that teach you about yourself?
Yeah, I think placing second runner up was a huge, I guess, like a surprise as well. I you always go with the intention of winning, but there's so many beautiful women who are all coming as themselves, and they also have the same drive as you. I think it was one of the most rewarding experiences of my life, and I'll always be incredibly proud of the result. It brings me to tears all the time thinking about that period of time in my life and how much of a different pathway it took me on. And I think what I value most about the journey is that it taught me a lot about myself as well. So I already did a lot of growing beforehand, and then I grew even more when I stepped into that role. It showed me that confidence isn't about being, I guess, the loudest person in the room. It's about staying authentic, resilient, and staying true to, I guess, the values that I have always, embodied, and even sticking to my values when under pressure, because there's so much pressure internationally. I feel like, they, especially in the pageantry world, there are I guess the pressures of all of the fans. I mean, they're so fantastic and they drive you to be better and, be the best type of person you are. But I think really I was quite grounded I'm grounded as a person anyway, knowing who I am. But I always stay grounded to what I was there to achieve. I didn't get caught up in, what sort of dramas are happening on the outside and that sort of thing. And I think a lot of girls also get caught up in that, which is something that the Aussie team always try and teach our girls that are going overseas, is to always stay tunnel vision, I think. And that was one of the biggest things that I was taught as well. And I think that competing alongside women across the globe really challenged me to step outside my comfort zone as well. Yeah, it like showed me to embrace different cultures and step up to leadership positions, hence why it then rolled into being operations manager of the Miss Australia pageant. And I think that, taking that leadership role in many different forms as well. And I learned that success isn't quite, I guess, measured up by the crown. It's measured up by the impact that I have on other people. So, yeah, it's kind of
Yeah, I love
crazy.
that you touched on that. And I feel like that's something I was always drawn to you with. And you're such a calming voice within the pageantry system. And so it was so lovely having you there at Miss Grand Australia. But yeah, that's something I noticed about you is you're incredibly grounded, authentic. And I think that's something I see at internationals with the queens that do well. And I wasn't shocked to hear that you did so well when you competed because, yeah, you just stayed so authentic and true to yourself. And yeah, I feel like that's something that we can all strive to be. So thanks for sharing that.
Oh, thank you.
So your platform focused on the importance of communication, am I right?
Yeah.
What has been such a meaningful, or why has that been such a meaningful cause for you? And how have you used your degree in speech pathology to help others?
Yeah, communication's always been the cause that is deeply meaningful to me because it's something many of us take for granted, I guess. And I think working as a speech pathologist, you really see that and the ability to express our thoughts and our opinions and self-advocate for ourselves. Self-advocacy is the biggest thing and it's the fundamentals of building relationships and feelings and building bonds between other people and I guess participating fully in life. When someone struggles with communication, it can affect, their whole being and their confidence and the type of person that they are. So having that taken away from you, we take it such for granted. I feel so passionately about to give people their voice because everybody has something to say. I feel like I really strived, especially, and even when I was a queen, I was still studying speech pathology. I wasn't actually qualified just yet. So I was really building up my knowledge in that area and seeking and researching how I can participate in the world with this a platform. And I guess as a speech pathologist, I've had the privilege of working with children and adults, and especially with families to help them find their voices in many different forms. And I think whether it's through language or whether it's through multimodal communication or sign language, any type of communication, I think that um, every person deserves the opportunity to communicate. So, my goal when I was a queen was to support children and schools to help to learn keyword signs. So, bringing the program in towards schools, which now a lot of schools actually do learn Auslan or keyword sign as an actual language instead of learning like Japanese or Italian or French or something, which are all fantastic languages if they travel overseas. But what about the language that's in our, own country that the people that live here use every single day to communicate? So I was very passionate about that, even when I was competing to become Miss Global, and trying to teach kids from a young age that it's okay to communicate differently, and ways that we can also include those people and be very inclusive. So, yeah, and I guess also through my work, those people that access that type of communication through my work are neurodivergent people often. So it's accessing the neurodivergent, well, taking a neurodiversity affirming approach. And seeking, family-centered approaches as well as school-based approaches to help embed those two together. And I guess even since then, my goal still hasn't changed as a speech pathologist. Like now I'm trying to include AAC, which is like the iPad that people communicate with, often autistic people, trying to teach educators in kinder how to communicate or how to support a child in using that. So that's kind of a new development, especially in my workplace. Like they're very passionate about that, that we're trying to push into kinders. So yeah, I guess it just hasn't changed and it helps when it's your job too, because you're already passionate about it. So yeah.
Yeah, what a beautiful journey, and just to hear that you're still advocating for this. And I mean, it's your profession and it's your passion, so I love to hear that you're still doing that and still making an impact. But I was the same. That's what really drew me in when I was researching you for your interview. It's something that we share similar while you're working with people at that developmental stage and kind of talking them through how they can communicate. I'm also, as a queen now, you said you were studying as well at the time. I'm studying strategic communications. So I think that's something we totally can agree on, that communications is the foundation of everything. And I think globally, that's something that's so important to take and spread the word that everyone's voice matters. So I really was drawn to that when I spoke to you today. So I love that we could chat about that today.
Yeah, thank you.
So moving on to another side of your career, you've been a dancer for most of your life, and now you're a Pilates instructor. What do you love about fitness and the sport community that you've been able to connect with over the years?
Yeah, what a great question. When I saw this question, I was like, oh, you've got such great questions firing at me. I love it. I think movement has always been a huge part of my life. I don't think I've ever, even from a young age, I was doing, four different sports, and dancing's always been that consistent. And as growing up as a dancer, it taught me discipline, it taught me resilience, it taught me teamwork. And it built a lot of the values and the morals that I still take as an adult. And it showed me how powerful, I guess, movement can be to people's lives. Like I know how much it impacted me in building my confidence and expressing myself, but also um, just my natural, I guess, personality of wanting to give back. I wanted to share that feeling with other people, hence why I then, when I retired from dancing, I wanted to still share that feeling with people or give people that feeling, hence why I became a Pilates instructor and then opened up the two studios. Because I just, yeah, it's just part of my nature. So, transitioning to Pilates just felt super natural and it allowed me to carry on that passion in just a slightly different way. And what I love most is that fitness isn't about working um, out to look a certain way for some people, and actually for a lot of people. It's about helping people find a stronger, more confident, healthier version of themselves. And I think that's like the really beautiful thing when I've been researching and going through my life about movement is how much more beyond moving our body can give people, for their mental health and, their emotional health, that sort of thing. It just scopes so much wider. So seeing people achieve something that's beyond, the physicality of somebody, is so much more rewarding. And I think that over the last few years of entering the fitness community, it's just been more about that. And when I've built my community with Kite and Pilates Studio, it's definitely more about that. It's about people coming together. It's about, the way movement makes people feel about themselves as a whole. And also one of our biggest morals that we advocate so much, because I run the studio with my mum, is we build stronger bodies, like mentally, physically and emotionally. So it's all about more the holistic view instead of being like, oh, we're doing Pilates to look a certain way and look toned or that sort of thing. We're trying to build like stronger men and women overall. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
I love that you said it's about overall well-being because that's something as well that I love and the community in sport. It's made most of the connections in my life and the people and just the laughter and the connections you can make during a workout when your legs starting to wobble during Pilates.
Yeah.
Um, it's just so much fun and it's exactly what you said. It's that holistic approach to sport and understanding that it has so much more. And I often say that to young people. It's not about, it's not about being the best or winning the competition. Oftentimes it's just showing up for even yourself and just it's that endorphins you get post run or post workout that just feels amazing. So I love that that's been consistent throughout your life. I think we need more women in the sporting fields, particularly women that are running these businesses and having safe spaces for people to come together and have fun while working out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So moving back into pageantry for a little bit, how has pageantry helped shape your confidence and communication skills, both on stage and in everyday life?
Yeah. Pageantry has taught me that confidence comes from being probably authentic, and not perfect. I
Mm.
think that is something that is definitely starting to transition into today's pageantry as well. It used to be, even in my time, it used to be so much about perfection and having your hair perfect and having this perfect, and and being the most perfect person on the stage. And even for myself, I think I knew when I was doing pageantry that um, I'm not perfect, and I want to bring, yeah, just my most authentic self to the stage. And if it's not what the judges are looking for, then that's okay. I did everything that I could, in the pageant land where you do the walking training, you do the interview training, you do your wardrobe, you do all that. That is all like the materialistic stuff that you can work on, but things that you can't change like that is your personality, is who you are as a person, your morals. I feel like if you can't change it within 10 seconds, then it's probably something that is just ingrained in you, right? So it's the type of person that you are. It's like when people say, a comment of, oh, that person, that person's hair is so short, I don't like it short, or something like that. It's like, okay, well, that person can't change that because that's just how they look. But, um, you know, I think that it's really important to be authentic with the things that you can control as well.
Mhm.
So, you know, I can change my style and I can change my walk and I can do all that, but I can't change the type of person that I am, you know, from within, who I truly am.
Yeah.
You can train and you can, I guess, you know, learn a lot about the system. You can learn a lot about where, you know, things come from, where what the pageant is ingrained with, and all of that. You know, for Miss Grand, it's completely different to Miss Global. You can learn all
Yes.
of that, but the pageant land definitely sees through that sort of stuff, and they always look to the person that you are,
Mhm.
and what type of leader you're going to be. Because if you can't be an authentic self, then how are you going to lead a whole system or a business? Because realistically, the pageant land, they are businesses. So they want someone that they're not going to have to, you know, change completely. That's too hard for them. They want someone
Mhm.
that already knows who they are, they're confident, they align with the system. You know, you wouldn't
Mhm.
be Miss Global or Miss Grand or Miss Intercontinental if you didn't already align with their system. You just wouldn't be chosen as that. So it's about, you know, embracing that. And I think that's something that I definitely learned when I stepped into my global role is like I
Mhm.
went on it like a self-discovery of like, okay, I initially started off as, oh my God, I need to fit this mold that, you know, I looked back at all the queens and was like, oh,
Mhm.
I need to aspire to be exactly like them. And then I was like, wait, why would I be exactly like them? They've already had a queen like that. So
Mhm.
I need to take a step back and be like, okay, what sort of queen would I be then?
Mhm.
So I kind of went on it was a very quick self-discovery because I had a very short time to get ready. And I think I did a lot of like self-reflection at the same time as I was getting ready because it was almost like a blessing that I didn't have as long to get ready because I was like, well, I'm going as myself. So,
Yeah.
and that's exactly, I think what they saw and the feedback that I got is that I was never someone that put on a show.
Mhm.
I was just who I was, just with nice makeup or nice hair or you know what I mean? So those
Yes.
skills
Yeah.
kind of carried over um from, you know,
Mhm.
my everyday life and then I just molded them into the pageant land. But I still met some of the, you know, the key things that anybody can meet. Anyone can do their hair and anyone can dress a certain way. I just still presented as myself. So I think my confidence really came from knowing that I was just my true self and there was nothing I changed about me. And if they didn't like it, then it just wasn't what it was. Like if I went to Miss Grand or if I went to Miss World or if I went to any other system,
Mhm.
I may not have, you know, I may not have placed as well as I did because I might not fit the mold, but
Mhm.
I was chosen for global because I also felt like I embodied very much all the things that global does. And
Yes.
I feel like it was the system for me, and I knew that, so I just leapt towards it. So, and
I
hence
think.
why
Yeah.
I never changed, or I
Mhm.
never competed again, because I just felt like
Yeah.
I was made for the global role,
You
really.
found your place. Oh, that's amazing. And that's
Yeah,
so amazing. And sometimes people don't. And I love to hear that you found your system and that's what felt right. I feel the same. I connect with that idea because I have done a few pageants in the past too. But to me, showing up this time, my fully authentic self and just being me, you're so right. It's really the system, in a way, will find you and be like, oh, this is perfect for you because you don't have to change and you don't have to put on a facade to be this character per se, this perfect person.
mm,
And I love that you said you can look back on the past queens. And I think we've all had those moments. It would be a lie to say
yeah,
that we don't look at others. It's just a common human trait we do and compare.
yeah.
But I love that you grew from that before you went internationally, even though it was such a short period of time, you had that ability to understand that no, I've got to bring my full self and what I bring that's special to the stage. And I think that's exactly why you did so well and why it's been beautiful to watch. Yeah, you use it in other aspects of your life as well. So thank you for sharing that.
Thank
So
you.
you've seen so many contestants go through their pageant journeys across the years. What qualities stand out to you in the women who truly embrace the experience and end up having a successful result?
I think the women that stand out to me most, again, it's always going to be the women that embrace the experience and the ones who understand that it's so much more than the final result. And the women that come being their authentic selves, always, so they're open to growing and they're willing to learn, and step outside their comfort zone, because a lot of the time it really is stepping out of your comfort zone. I think then there's never progress in comfortable spaces. I always say that and I use that all the time, whether it's with movement or whether it's in my job or anything like that. You've got to wiggle around in the uncomfortable zones in order to grow. And I generally celebrate the success that women find when they're contestants and they do grow in those uncomfortable spaces and they do something that they would have never done outside of the pageant land. So we always say, the map team always say, like, the women that start the competition and the women that end the competition, they're just completely different people, and it's only a short period of time. It's only 3 or 4 days. So the amount of growth that happens in that time, it's such a good feeling, and the qualities that stand out to me the most are the women that are authentic, the women that are resilient, and then the women that are kind always, and the women that show leadership, or at least somewhat strive to want to be a leader, because sometimes they may not get the opportunity to be a leader, but they have the capacity to be a leader. So the strongest competitors are the ones that know who they are, really, and they use their platform for a purpose, which I love to see, like when someone has a really strong base.
Mm.
But then there's still wiggle room, because that's, if you just had the strong base from when you started the competition, like, where is that going to grow when you become an international, when you become, sorry, a queen, and then you've got to
Mm.
compete internationally, and to see that journey and the opportunity it brings for them and how the team can support them is something that we also look for. It's like, okay, how can we connect and learn and grow, or help them grow in that journey. And a crown, we recognize that it's an achievement for sure. It's definitely an achievement, but it's also, we look at the person and the character that's going to wear that crown. So
Mm.
I think that is also a really important part. Like, a woman that wants to make an impact, and it's not just about the glitz and glamour. Like, when we hear, like, I just want to get on the stage and I just want to wear a pretty dress and I want to do this and I want to do that. It's like, okay, that's really fantastic. And you will get to do that no matter what.
Mm.
But it is those women that have a purpose and strive to seek more and really want to stand out as well.
And that's something I love about Miss Australia Productions in particular, and the group of women that are part of that. I mean, you're involved in that, the production side of it, is that one thing I've noticed with the Queens and the whole team is every single person is so incredibly kind, while they're so high functioning as well. Like, sometimes I think women in particular can get a bad rep and be called divas per se in industries that we're in. But I always laugh and say I think a diva is someone that knows her mind. I mean, there's different
Yeah.
cases as well, but I think it's just a powerful woman, and I think it's so right that you're saying advice for contestants going into this is, yeah, don't show up expecting to just, yeah, be the person on stage in the pretty dress and win. Like, you should be a holistic round person with multifaceted skills and actually be able to interact with people. I think that's what I love about this system. And at Miss Grand Australia, something I noticed at nationals was it's the people that are interacting with the hotel staff, the women that just want to have a chat with Sophia and Charlotte, or even yourself, and just actually connect on a human level as well. So
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it's that it's not putting on a facade of like a beauty pageant queen, it's someone that actually is real. So I love,
Definitely,
I
definitely
love,
agree with you there.
yeah. Is there a moment in your pageant journey that you'll never forget?
Yeah, I think the biggest moment that I'll never forget is when Australia was called for top five. It's a funny story because actually I didn't hear Australia get called, so I didn't because the person that said it was had a beautiful Indonesian accent, and I didn't. How they say Australia is different to how we say Australia. So, and they really do the or Australia. And I just didn't get it at first. And I'm standing there clapping, and everyone's just looking at me. And I'm like, why is everyone looking at me? And when like the MCs are like nodding
Oh.
at me and they're like go and I'm like oh it's me okay and it was the only one I didn't hear and I just remember being you know shocked and excited and couldn't believe that my country had been called because I was just so humble even to be my goal was to get to top 10
Mm,
actually my not even that definitely my goal was to get to top 20 and it
mhm,
would have been a bonus to get to top 10. But to get to top five, I was like mind blown. You always obviously want to win, but I was also extremely resilient in the fact that there were
mm,
so many amazing women and I was going to be happy with any result, whether I was
mm,
unplaced, whether I was 10, 5, whatever. But when I was called, I just remember feeling an extreme immense of proudness for myself. And I don't think I've ever felt the same since. I just remember being like, I can't believe you did this. Um, and you don't often get that as a human being where you're extremely proud of yourself. And I think that I was just so happy to even be there. I didn't even
mhm.
really mind how I went in the top five question and answer. I was just so happy. I could have placed fifth runner up and I wouldn't have cared. But it was just, that was the best experience. And actually, to second that, I think that walking in Harper's Bazaar's magazine's runway in
Wow.
Vietnam was pretty close to second slash first as well. That was incredible being in another country. I was the only, it was a Vietnamese
Mm,
runway, and the top five Miss Global team was there, and there was no Aussie girls in that
mhm.
runway, and it was just so cool. It was just a full fashion show beforehand with a red carpet, paparazzi, famous
Oh,
Vietnamese people everywhere. It was just insane, and then everybody watching me, walk down and walk this really cool shaped runway. It was just insane. Like it was such a cool experience. That just changed my brain chemistry forever, and it kind of gave me a little bit more confidence in myself that I can do challenging things. So
mhm.
yeah, I think it changed my mindset a little bit, coming top five and doing the runway. It just changed the way that I viewed how I can do things. Well,
That's incredible. And
yeah,
yeah, I
thank
find
you.
that too. Hey, when you're at on red carpets or moments like that, I mean, that's an incredible experience and such a, yeah, huge platform, Harper Bazaar. But just knowing that you can do that and you got through it and you did well, it's like, it's not validation, but it's this feeling of like, oh, I knew I could do it, but you never know quite until you get there. And I think it's that same moment when you're on the international stage and you heard your name, but you just can't believe it, so you didn't
Yeah.
step forward. And
Yeah.
I
You're like, are
love
you
that.
sure?
Yeah. No,
No.
I love that about you because it's that humble side of like, I don't think that's me. You're just clapping.
Yeah.
You're
I'm just
clapping some other
clapping
girl.
for myself. I'm like,
Right.
as I'm standing there, and then I'm like, oh, okay, yeah.
Oh, that would have been wonderful. Yeah, I can only imagine how that feeling would have felt. But I'm the same, like going into this international experience, you're just so happy to be there. And then anything that happens beyond that point is just an absolute bonus.
Exactly, and that's the not feedback. That's the advice I give to all the queens that we send overseas. I'm like, honestly,
Yeah.
just be humble that you're there.
Yeah.
That's That is honestly the best part. Just enjoy the experience. It's
Hmm.
like you will never experience it again unless you compete again. But
Yeah.
but it will never be that same system with the same people in the same place, and just enjoy that. Yeah.
Yeah. So you've been involved with Miss Australia Productions and you were at Miss Grand Australia this year. What is something you love about Sophia and Charlotte's leadership as national directors?
I love Sophia and Charlotte. What I admire most about Sophia and Charlotte is they genuinely care about the women that they're supporting. They really do. They took on being directors from being past queens because they are so passionate about the systems that they're running and the friendships that they've made in there. I mean, they were roommates, as they always tell people, they're roommates, and then they became best friends, and then now they're national directors, and they want an environment they've created to encourage contestants again to move out of their comfort zones and find and grow and feel valued to get throughout their experience and grow as women and give other women the opportunity to find themselves and truly understand the type of woman they either are or can be. And I think that their leadership goes beyond the competition, I guess, because obviously, they have the competition, but then for their queens, they have to keep on going. It's a 24/7 job. They're always, supporting their queens and they focus on building confidence and developing skills and creating strong sense of community with their queens and even with the national finalists. Um, and instilling skills that go beyond the pageant world and that they can put into their modeling career or their work experience or their involvement with family and their relationships, and it goes beyond that. And I think having experienced pageantry as both a contestant and behind the scenes, I think I've seen how much passion and dedication that they hold, and the heart that brings everything together is truly them. They are the beating heart. And I'm just another organ that's there helping them out. And I think that they truly understand the impact that pageantry can make. That's why they're so passionate about giving people this opportunity, because they've had it before and seen how much it changed their lives. And then for me, they saw how much it changed my life. And, I've met one of my best friends through pageantry as well, who's going to be a bridesmaid for me. And it just keeps giving. I feel like it doesn't ever stop. Once you're in the pageant land, you are forever in it, and you're always in our map family. And we say that to every contestant. You're always part of the sisterhood now. So and they open their arms out to women that want to be
Mhm.
involved and part of their community.
And that's something that always drew me back to these pageants in particular that were run
Yeah.
by, yeah, you guys, is that the passion behind it and the support that you get. It's like no other. And I've never, and this is so true, I've never heard a bad word said about Sophia, Charlotte, yourself, anyone in the production team, because you guys are always, your communications are always open. You're telling us just reach out whenever you need, and the support feels this. And it actually feels like friendship. It's not just wanting a product out of you. And I've been chatting to the Queens about that too on some of the interviews, and it was something they said. It's like they see the real people, and
Yeah.
that's something that I love about these systems that they run is it's actually you as a human, and it's not just a product, and it's not about the crown, it's about the individual. And that's why I love your story as well, and the fact that it really is a showcase of women supporting other women. It's not just something that's said, it's not a platform, it's actually being done and it's in actions. And yeah, that's why I love it
Yeah.
as well. So if you could go back and give your younger pageant self one piece of advice, even though I don't feel like you need to because you just slayed the competition, but what would it be?
I think slightly how I touched on before when I was 18 and I was told that my body or my weight or the way I looked was not, fit the appearance and the mold that a queen was, and to never stop looking for my place and my people, I think is what
Mhm.
I would say. I think there is a system for everybody. It's just when, where you find it. And everybody always does. There truly is a system for everybody. And never think that one person's opinion dictates
Mm.
your entire trajectory of your pageant journey. Because I think that's something when I was 18, I let that get in the way. And then when I was 22, I found myself, oh wait, I might not have been 22, maybe. Anyway, in 2021/2022,
Yeah,
no, I wouldn't have been 22. think I was
I'm the
24.
same. I'm terrible with that dating.
I can't remember how old I am. It's just showing my age. Um, yeah, I think I let someone else dictate the way I thought of myself when I was younger, which you do when you're younger and you look up to people. But I think I would tell myself now that there's just no one that's like you and embrace that.
Oh, beautiful. I love to hear that. All right, last question before we move on to the quick fire round. But looking ahead, what goals and dreams are you most excited to chase next?
Well, I get married in 40 days. So, eh, I am so looking forward to marrying the love of my life. And also building the Miss Australia pageants alongside the girls. I mean, they always got some really cool things happening within the system. It's always building, it's always growing. I can't wait to continue being the operations manager alongside that. And I look forward to it, 2 times a year when we have the competitions. It's honestly one of the highlights of the year. And then I think a part of that is I just love bringing women's dreams to life or helping them do that, such as yourself, and all the other women that we've crowned. I've been operations manager now for 3 years, and it never gets old. It always is just the most rewarding feeling being part of that journey for other women. And then also, I think another one of my personal things is continuing to grow my Pilates business and providing more movement to more people. So there's always in the works of that. I'm just so passionate about that area as well. And I want to continue to expand my love for it.
And your empire. It sounds wonderful. And
Yeah.
you've got so many beautiful sides of yourself. And I love to hear that your involvement with the pageants are going to be even more so across the years. So that's wonderful to hear. All right, we're going to move on to the rapid fire questions now. Are you ready?
Yes. Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. Are you an early riser or a night owl?
Early riser.
Yeah, same. I mean, I feel like any fitness girl is always
Yeah,
going to choose early.
definitely. Definitely.
What's your go-to comfort food?
Pasta or
Mm.
Nutella and strawberries for sure.
Oh, okay. I love a good like chocolate and strawberries, but I'll have to try that
Yeah.
one day.
Oh, Nutella is so good.
Yeah. What is one of your biggest pet peeves?
Um, I don't love it when someone sings the wrong words of a song. I don't know. It just asks me. It might just be my fiance, but when he sings the wrong words to a song, I'm like, but it continues on for a really long time, or like people mumble the words, and I'm like, let me just enjoy the song. So yeah, really outrageous, but yeah.
That's so funny. No, okay, I think I'd be triggering you there because like I try and get away with it with a mumble, but it's definitely, yeah, it's a dead giveaway. If if you were given a chance to steal something, and I know you wouldn't, but what would it be?
Oh, it would probably be money. I mean, that would be handy,
Yeah,
who doesn't want a little bit more money? So
yeah, just rob
I
a
think
bank and get away with it. Love that.
yeah, I mean, it'd be nice to upgrade my house.
Have a few more dollars for the wedding. That would be great.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
So, do you have a favorite song?
Um,
Or just one you're listening to now? That can be a tricky one because I feel like I change over the years as well.
Yeah, I think my favorite song though is the song that my partner and I are going to be doing our first dance to because it's our song, and I'm happy to share it because it's what we got engaged to. But it's "Falling Like the Stars" by James Arthur. Yeah, he proposed to me with that song, and then that's going to be our first dance. So yeah, I think that will forever be my favorite song.
Beautiful. And a little question about that. Are you coming up with the dance? Are you the
Of
choreographer?
course I am. Oh my gosh, we're
I
going
love
in
that.
choreograph. There's going to be lifts. Of course.
I'm
It's
so
going
keen
to
to
be.
see, like, I hope you release a video of like the bridesmaids dance as well if you guys
Oh
do one
yeah,
of
they've
those.
definitely
Like,
got to dance as well, for sure. Yeah, I think we're doing it next week. So
oh, so keen.
they'll be prepared too. The bridesmaids and the groomsmen, they're all prepared. They're dancing with each other. It's fantastic. It's going to look really good. Definitely going to release some videos.
Yes, that's so good. I want to see it. All right, what is a movie that makes you laugh?
Um, any movie probably with Ryan Reynolds in it, like Deadpool really makes me laugh. I think it's the people in it that make me laugh more. Like, Kevin Hart makes me laugh a lot.
Yes, yeah.
And yeah, Ryan Reynolds is hilarious. So
It's that quick humor, isn't it? It's a
it's the
little back and
quick,
forth.
yeah, it's like
Yeah,
the quirkiness.
yeah.
It's those types of movies for me. Yeah.
I feel like I'm learning a bit more about your humor there. I love that. What would you wear? So this one's a little bit of a weird one. What would you wear if you had to wear a Halloween costume every day for the rest of your life?
Oh, I love that question because Halloween's my favorite
Mhm.
holiday, even though it's not celebrated in Australia. Shattered. If I had to, I would probably be. Oh my God, that's a really great question. Um, oh,
It's so hard because you
yeah,
think
it's so
about like every
hard.
day.
Yeah, I think that I would wear maybe. Something from like, just because I'm obsessed with off campus right now, probably something from off campus, like as one of the characters right now.
Love
So,
that.
I'm quite, who doesn't love Belmont Camely? Or I
Yeah,
think
I
that's how
mean,
you
so
say
you're a
it.
Graham girl? Garrett.
Pardon? Yeah, I'm a
Yeah,
Garrett girl
that.
for
Okay.
sure.
I
Yeah.
love that. I'm Dean. I'm Dean. But
You're a Dean. That's okay. That's all right. So we could
Garrett's
we could
good.
go together
Garrett,
because
like,
you're the
yeah.
blonde and I'm the brunette. So we could dress as it together.
Oh my gosh, we just go Dean and Garrett.
Yeah, yeah,
That's so good.
absolutely. Get like the little jerseys. I always
I
thought like
love that.
next Halloween I'm probably gonna try and get like a cute cropped jersey that has like Graham on the back. So
Oh,
yeah, but excited for season two about
so
Dean.
keen. So keen. I'm just reading the book right now and I'm like obsessed. I feel like who's not obsessed with that? But
Yeah, who's not
anyway, we
obsessed?
better
But
move on because I feel like we could
yeah,
talk about this for
yeah,
like
I know, I
forever.
know.
Okay, what is something you first noticed about someone?
I often notice their smell, and I often notice their eyes as well.
Ah, okay, I've never heard the smell one, but I'm such a lover of perfume and cologne as well. So I
Yeah,
fully notice if someone walks by me with cologne or perfume, I'm
yeah,
always like, "What are you wearing? Tell me what that
yeah.
scent is."
Same,
Oh,
same.
lovely. What's your like go-to perfume? Do you have one that you wear like every day?
I have a YSL one. It's like that common one
Mm.
that pretty much everybody's got.
Yeah, yeah.
That's like my go-to.
Beautiful.
Can't
Yeah,
remember
I
what
love
it's
getting
called.
like a scent that you're like known for. I love the Ariana Grande that she has this vanilla one and it smells so good.
Yeah, yum.
What is your favorite way to celebrate a small win? So you've had such big wins in your life, but what about the day-to-day wins?
I think like having a little dessert at night or like, having a
Sweet
bigger
treat.
dessert or a wine. That's kind of, with my
Nice.
partner. That's my favorite way to celebrate anything, really.
I love that. I'm the same. I'm like go to donuts or something with the family. Just
Yes. Oh my goodness. A cinnamon scroll. Oh,
hmm
yeah.
hmm If you were a movie or book character, who do you think you'd be? Now, this one's a bit of a tough question, but
Yeah, that's tough.
mm,
Um, oh my goodness. I mean, on the topic of off campus, like I think I'm very much Ellie in the series, like a little bit outrageous, but also like back and forth with things.
yeah,
But open to trying new things and, seeing through rose-colored glasses of a lot of the world, but also like kind of like this. Life is a little bit like that. I can get like that sometimes. Like I
Mm.
feel the highs and I also feel the lows, but then I'm also very grounded in the people that's around me. So
And I think
I
like grounded
concur.
in the kindness. And I totally,
Yeah.
when you just said Ali, I was like, oh, I wonder if she's going to say Hannah or Ali because in my head I went Ali, like immediately for you. Because,
Really? There you
yeah, and it's like
go.
it's that spontaneity, that real fun side. But I think she's always
Yes.
got this kindness to her and
Yep.
appreciation for her friendships. And that's
Yep.
something I noticed about you too. So I think that's a great character to be linked
Yeah.
with. All right, well, thank you so much for today. It's been so wonderful to chat to you more. As I said, you've been such an inspiration to me over the years, someone I've been able to look up to, a mentor of mine throughout my pageant journey. And I can just see the impact you're having. And I can't wait to, yeah, for you to have your wedding and just celebrate that day and the beautiful love you have with your partner. So, congratulations for that. And thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right, bye.